Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we turn to talking about a pretty big story that came out last week that everyone seems to be talking about this weekend. I'm of course talking about the fact that Disney fired Gina Carano from the Mandalorian TV series. Disney Plus recently came out with this Mandalorian show a few years back, and it's become a really big hit for them and one of the biggest shows in TV right now. And unfortunately, Gina Carano has been fired for very unnecessary and hypocritical reasons. Apparently, she had some social media posts that referenced some things from World War II. Those are taboo and things that she's not allowed to reference for some reason. But other people get away with those references all the time. In fact, it really comes down to the fact that Gina Carano is a free thinker. She is not one to kind of kowtow to these liberal ideas and ideologies that are dominant in Hollywood and in the mainstream. And she's really not as controversial as you might think. You've probably heard some stories about this, and a lot of people are defending the fact that she got fired over what I would call wrongthink. Wrongthink is a big part of what's at play here. Essentially, she thinks the wrong way and doesn't adhere to the left's kind of memes, and that's what's gotten her fired. She's referenced something that they consider taboo, even though they often reference it themselves, and that's what's got us into this whole cancel culture war. First, they canceled Gina Carano. Now people are canceling Disney Plus because of this cancellation, and it's turned into this big kind of hurricane of awfulness. It's a bad story. I really disagree with the firing. I think this actor is really great on the show and in other places. Gina's also been in other movies like the Deadpool film and other cool stuff. She used to be a UFC fighter. She's very fit and formidable and intimidating and fits in with these superhero character kind of roles that she's played. In fact, to give her even more props, the thing I like about this character and the character she plays, this actress actually looks intimidating. She looks like she would be strong and could fight people, as opposed to like a lot of other actresses that try to pull that off and they're actually just little skinny girls, and nothing wrong with that. They're usually like pretty girls trying to look like they're strong. Like an example that comes to mind is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman pulls it off as good as she can. Gal Gadot is like pretty fit, but she's also like really skinny, really thin, and it's hard to believe she has this massive amount of strength, as opposed to an actress like Gina, who is obviously thicker, stronger, more like a karate person, and it fits in her role. So it makes it sad to see her go, especially since Mandalorian is a really great show with a great future and lots of more episodes planned. So with that said, let's go to the article. This first one comes from the Los Angeles Times. It says, Mandalorian's Gina Carano will not be a part of future Star Wars projects after Lucasfilm deemed her social media posts abhorrent and unacceptable. Now, we're going to get to those posts soon, but spoiler warning, they're not as bad as they claim. I don't know if they're necessarily something I 100% agree with either. I haven't read through all the posts, but I've seen her post stuff online and seen people retweet her, and essentially she just goes along with a lot of stuff. She's kind of what some might seem conservative leaning. She might seem like a Trump supporter even. I don't know if she outright said anything like that, but she's definitely not left leaning and not going towards the cancel wars and the PC culture. Like, she's just kind of more, maybe you'd say a centrist, but they're kind of painting her as being right wing because that's a taboo thing to be these days. They want to call people right wing even if they're not, because right wing is almost as bad as saying someone's a criminal, at least in the eyes of these wild leftists. Now, before we move forward, I did want to go over the term wrongthink. I found a pretty good post that talked about it here. It says, it's an opinion you hold that you deem to be empirically truthful information based on your perception of what you observe in your life and immediate surroundings, but it's regarded to be morally, ethically, and legally objectionable in your community or society, and thus unsound to state or even consider, resulting in censorship either by external and internal forces. So that's a great kind of long-term wrongthink. As this article goes on to explain, it kind of comes from the 1984 novel by George Orwell, although I don't believe that actual term wrongthink was in there, but it's a combination of crime think and thought crime, and just these ideas of how you could get punished for thinking the wrong way. If you state something, even if it's true, even if the facts back you up, you get punished for it. And this kind of turns back to us. And at this channel, as you guys have known, we've been canceled. We were canceled for thinking the wrong way. I voted for the wrong candidate in the last election, so they took away my ads, and now I can't make money here on the internet. It's very much a real thing. I'm still coasting by with a few supporters, a few people on Patreon, and some other places are keeping the show going for now, but it might not last much longer, just like how Gina Carano's career didn't last as long as it could have. Although I think her new options and the things she goes to next are going to really kind of send her off to another thing. So here's a post from Lauren Chen kind of pointing out the hypocrisy. You see, Disney thinks Nazi comparisons are only okay when the left does them, apparently. And then she shares a post from Pedro Pascal, who is the main character in The Mandalorian. This is another actor from the same show, comparing stuff to 1940s Germany, talking about things that happened in World War II, Nazi comparisons to these groups that got punished there, the ones that punished people, things like that. And apparently it's okay if you do it in the right direction. This is the same kind of thing. Apparently what Gina posted originally was something like comparing it to the same time period, saying, oh, these people get silenced for thinking the wrong things, kind of like how the Jews got punished for believing in the wrong things. And that's what's happening now in the present with a lot of modern conservatives. And in fact, Disney proved that point when they punished Gina. That was the point she was trying to make. And the hypocrisy of it is now being revealed in this post that we're going over. It's very hypocritical because they can reference the Holocaust. They could talk about World War II and Nazis in Germany. But if the right does it in the wrong way, you get canceled right away. And everyone kind of goes along with that. None of them are stepping up and standing up for Gina, except for different people on our side and different YouTubers and other internet personalities like this. Now, this is a post from Lefty Moment, kind of showing you more about the hypocrisy. It says, Star Wars Mandalorian actor allegedly compares Trump supporters to Confederates in Nazi Germany. Now, this is another reference to Pedro Pascal. This is the main actor, the main character. He's calling Trump supporters Confederates and Nazis. It's comparing them. And that's the same kind of problem that happened with Gina. But as you can see by this meme, this first story got nothing coming out of the store. Nothing happened. No one cared. But then in the next story, Gina Carano gets officially canceled by Lucasfilm due to a Nazi Germany comparison remark. So this is why someone's busting out saying you better watch your mouth. They've got a Mickey Mouse hat on, so it's representing Disney. Mickey Mouse is their main character. And it's like, yeah, okay, Pedro Pascal, he could call Trump supporters Nazis and Confederates and criminals and whatever he wants. That's fine in that direction because he's going along with the mainstream. But Gina references the fact that people are getting silenced and pushed out of society, literally, like what happened with Jewish people in the 1940s in Germany and other places connected to it. And that gets her fired right away. So they're saying, watch your mouth. Do not talk about that. You're fired. You can't compare yourselves to a sympathetic character like the people that were punished in World War II, the people that were wrongly attacked and taken away from their homes and killed. But this guy can reference it and be totally ridiculous and not even close to something relevant or interesting or even close to reality. Now, that's a pretty damning comparison. We've done the Pedro Pascal to Gina Carano. I mean, this is really close too. I mean, the only thing you could maybe argue is that this guy's the main character. He's in every episode. He's more important to the show. So some people might say, oh, he could just mouth off and say whatever he wants. But aside from that, they're pretty similar. Same show, same comparison, totally different reaction from Disney. But I really don't think we should be that surprised because this stuff happens with them all the time. They're big hypocrites. They pretend to be defending what's right and stopping bad things like what they supposedly claim Gina said or what she compared stuff to. But they've done this before. So this last comparison is pretty good too. And it's great to see this kind of come out in a different way, in a different story. So first you have Gina drop for abhorrent posts on social media. There's a picture of the main character today that we've been talking about. And this references back to about last year when Disney defends Mulan filming near internment camps in China. So these are the camps happening right now, very similar to camps and to the situation that was talked about in World War II. These are happening in the present, but Disney defends that filming. They also defended their main actor. This actress was propped up for kind of talking down the Hong Kong protests, siding with China. Disney will side with China over everything, even though they're some of the worst civil rights violators in the present. They're currently hurting people and treating people poorly and not giving their people freedom. They're hostaging a lot of their country, which is messed up, but that's okay. According to Disney, they defend that because they're making money with China. But back here in America, they'll fire an actress for any kind of conservative thought, any kind of right-leaning ideas, for being sympathetic to people, for making a comparison they don't like. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I can't believe it's gotten this far. And it really goes to show that this whole PC culture, cancel culture thing is really at a rise. I mean, it's going down. Fortunately, this actress will be fine because she's going to get lots of great support on her next project, which I'm looking forward to. I'm not really excited about watching any more Mandalorian. I'll I'll still check it out because I'm still a Star Wars fan. I don't care. I get it. It's a bad move. I don't subscribe to Disney Plus, though. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. And I think I understand why other people won't as well. So with that said, that about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Subscribe if you're new and hit that bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a great day.